tell me a little bit about yourself. When we first met, where were you? What you doing? What's your brand? Give me a quick summary and overview.
So my name's Lewis, and I am currently building Eden Subs, which is a supplement brand for entrepreneurs who struggle with brain fog or burnout. When I first hopped on the initial call, my landing page was nowhere near as good as where it was now, and it was all over the place. I had no idea who my customer was, and I was pretty much trying to market a product that I couldn't even try and sell just over a call, let alone even put a good page together to clearly identify who my customer was. And so, I mean, where I was at was just completely in doubt of if this was a good product, and I had spent so long making it, and it felt like that I just wasted time and was pretty much on the cusp of giving up, to be honest. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing that, bro. And where are you now after the mentorship?
The amount of clarity that I've got on just what it takes to actually understand your customer and what actual steps you have to go through to really identify what kind of messaging to do with your pages. I know exactly where my product fits and who I'm speaking to, what kind of angles to go at in terms of what they're afraid of, what kind of pains they have, what things they're angry about on a day-to-day, where they want to go in terms of desires. And having that level of clarity with that side of things, and also shifting my mindset to what's important to know before marketing your product, it's made putting together my landing pages easier. It's made it easy to identify what kind of angles to go with my ads. It's actually been unreal with how much clarity I have towards going into market and starting to run ads, because now I'm at the point where I just know exactly the steps ahead now to go ahead with, to just continuously see what sticks and go from there.
Love that, bro. What was stopping you from getting there on your own? Like, what was your big problems when we first engaged?
Massive one was going in based off assumptions was a big one. Thinking that I knew what I was doing without getting that product market validation, thinking that just because I'd made a product that was my own personal problems, that meant that I could skip steps with validating the product. And then also assuming that without any customer knowledge, I could just put stuff together and see what worked, when in reality, looking at where I was, I had no idea what elements to do with a good landing page or product page. I didn't even have a funnel set up. Emails weren't set up. I didn't really have a way to manage the traffic that was coming to my page. And I was just burning cash on ads with no clear messaging, no clear funnel structure. So having no assumptions now and going into a point of marketing that I can test the things I've had has been pivotal.
Love that, bro. And who would you recommend the mentorship for if you were to kind of put out a broadcast message?
When it comes to who I'd recommend to, I don't want to say anyone, because obviously anyone who has a product that they want to bring to market needs that kind of intentionality. But just speaking on who's someone for me, is that if you're someone who's put that time in to build a custom formula, or have an idea that you want to bring to market that you haven't seen anywhere else, having that handhold step-by-step understanding of what to do first without going in on assumptions, like I said I did before, is just so important, because it avoids the whole idea of wasting the one asset which you can't get back, which is your time. Yeah. You can chuck money at the wall, no problem. You can go and earn it back with a job or night shift. But spending months, or like I did, a year and a half before getting mentorship, is like, that's time you can't get back. So anyone who has that idea of a custom formulation that they want to do, or that has a product that they have conviction in, that they need this kind of level of mentoring to save that time.
Yeah. Were you apprehensive when you first came into the program? What was your thoughts? Were you scared? Do you think it was going to work?
Yeah, I'm naturally, what I've found is I'm such a skeptic with everything, which I think eventually that might serve me with some things, but I found that it stopped me from getting mentorship when I needed it. And so, but for for the skeptic that's watching this is like they need to just bite the bullet, because I found that I was constantly making decisions out of fear, and I constantly felt comfortable with the idea of not parting ways with my money and feeling like that the knowledge I had was going to get me to the stage that I wanted to, when in reality, I found now that you need to change who you are to get to a different outcome. You can't expect to get to the same, you can't expect to get different results from doing the same steps. And so having a mentor has just been amazing for the fact that it's forced me to change in ways that I haven't figured out on my own.
Yeah. What was your biggest learning? One that's impacted you the most?
Pinpoint one is just, I'd say the biggest thing is probably the detail going in with understanding your customer, honestly, because I look at it now and I know that is such an important step that makes every other step easier. Like I said before, there's no need for thought with what to write on your landing page or what kind of angles to target with your ads, because I look at it now and it's so much easier now that I know my customer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Love that, bro. Thank you so much for sharing. What's your plans for the brand?
Moving forward, it's chucking as many ads on Meta as possible and just making sure that I read that data both on Meta and also what my landing page says, and just continue to test and measure.
Perfect. And we're done.
Easy.
Thank you so much for that, bro.
Really hopefully that's valuable, dude, because I know that everything there is no word of a lie. Honestly, the amount of clarity that's happened from this has been great.
Appreciate that, bro. And it's all on you for applying it and actually doing the work as well. Believe it or not, I do get a few people who come in and just like do nothing.
Yeah.
Don't finish the course, start the first module and then get bored and then on to the next thing. So it just kind of validates the fact that it's all consistency over time.
Yeah, 100%. I can't imagine someone deciding not to follow through with modules and stuff like that. It's like there's so much that they're missing there.